Geespin, man. Let me tell you about this man. This dude is an all-around Renaissance guy when it comes to radio, when it comes to DJing, whether it's the clubs, on air, Mass Boston and New York, whatever. Every market he done impacted with his knowledge.
He's moving so we can see the plaque.
Well, no. I was moving because I was in a turn
right now.
I do a Facebook Live for my friends and family on Friday nights. So
right. It has nothing to do with the wall of plaques. Nothing at all.
Yeah, we got a couple.
Yeah.
Sway got.
Yo, this is one of the illest programmers in the game. When you think of Power 105 here in New York City, and you think of the Breakfast Club and what that station has been able to do, this man was the main ingredient, in my opinion, in putting that all those things, putting all those building blocks together and creating what we now see it to be. He's over with us now at Sirius XM, the Pandora family. Can I say what you're doing?
Nah, keep it low right now.
Okay. What he's doing over there with this company is going to revolutionize the game. Let me just say that.
I certainly hope so. We're trying to build on what you've built, man. And I'll tell you, man, I couldn't be more excited to work with you. And I love you and I talk enough, man. And I've already expressed how much I love this format and what you and your daughter are doing. I think is amazing. Literally, man, I've been off social media a little bit. I had to take a little bit of a break. I checked into Twitter last night for the verses, which I thought, or Wednesday night, which was amazing. But sometimes you got to give your brain a break a little bit. But the second I tune back in, I see you too, and I just saw the young man from Massachusetts, my home state. That was, you could feel it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and and you said it, Sway, too, and I think DMX mentioned it the other night, man. Like, once these MCs when they're rapping from their pain. Like, that's when you're getting real bars. You know what I'm saying? And listen, everybody got what they do, right? Whether it's mumble rap or conscious rap, whatever it is, I'm not critiquing anything, but man, it's special when it comes off like that. You could really, really feel it with him. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you this as someone who, and I'm glad you're chiming in because I know that young man is listening. Y'all got to understand, Geespin is one of the most valuable programmers in the music business right now. Every record company respects him. You've helped break a lot of artists. For artists right now, it's the difference between digital play, being on the DSPs, and being on radio. Can you talk about the difference, and then what is it you look for? How do you determine when it's time to program a song?
Look, I think you're talking about two different formats in the sense, right? DSPs are amazing. And when we say DSPs, we're digital service providers. So we're talking about Spotify's, the Pandoras, the Apple Musics, etc. It's a discovery platform. You know what I mean? So how I use it, I'm sure you use it. Most of the listeners use it. They go on there and they find things, right? So it's the amazing things that are available to our kids nowadays is that for $10 a month or $15 or whatever they're charging, they can go and they can find any artist in the world. They can go and find everything from Juice WRLD to Fleetwood Mac to whatever. It doesn't matter. Any genre they want. Where you and I used to go spend our $10 and we got one record and we bring it home. That's what it was, right? And then in terms of radio, look, I think what DSPs do and what streaming does and what the internet does for you, to use a baseball analogy, it gets you on base, right? So gets you on first base, gets you on second. Radio, as far as terrestrial radio, so the free radio, or then whether or not it's satellite, we're driving you home from second. You know what I mean? Like, we're taking it a little bit more, making it a little bit more mass media. And look, are there artists that can absolutely do it without radio? For sure. You know what I mean? And then there's artists that get some radio play that don't really stream that well. So they're consumed differently. You know what I mean? Like, I think obviously the youth and the younger end, they consume. Good.
What do you look for? There's a lot of independent artists right now in the song.
For me personally, I like originality. Like, I want to hear what the guy just spit. I want to hear like it's authentic. Listen, beats are important. You know what I mean? Like, it's got to have something. It's got to make you kind of step back and kind of take notice. You know what I mean? So be conscious of the beats that you're spitting over and the music that you're that's behind you. You know, that's one thing I think we've lost a little bit in is the quality of the production on some senses. There are some great, and I'm just saying there's some great producers out there, but you know, the fact that everybody can produce now on Fruit Loops or, you know, on their computer, it's kind of taken a little bit away, I think, from a lot of the mass quality. So just be conscious, you know, be conscious of the beats that you spit over. And listen, man, if you want to separate yourself from the field and you want to have a long-lasting game, I mean, you look at the legendary artists that are still around, right, and that are still, you know, that go out and do tours, whether or not it's Kendrick, whether that's Cole, whether or not it's Drake, whether or not it's Jay, whether it's M. Like, these guys are things that have bars. And I'm not saying that, like, groups that aren't lyrical can't do that, but it just, you know, longevity speaks a lot in terms of the content that you deliver to the people.
Geespin, I'm just, you know, we gonna get back to these bars, but I just those bars right there.
It's also just crazy to think about y'all used to pay $10 for an album because Spotify can't even convince like people my age to pay $10 per month for original music.
And listen, we go. I go in with $10 for one album, and I'd walk out with 4. Now, how I got those other 3, we're not going to talk about all that.
Hey, Geespin, thank you for your contribution to this culture, to this industry, to entertainment. Artists, follow him, Geespin, follow him. You see his handle. This is one of the MVPs of programming in the music business. You can get directly at him. And I'm looking forward to doing more work with you. MVP of the culture. And I'm looking forward to doing more work with you too, brother. We're gonna make that happen. We're gonna make that happen, okay?
I love you.
All right.
I appreciate it.
Love you too. Salute.
All right, y'all. Peace.
All right, man. Geespin.
You gotta